All right, everyone, welcome back to the Scoop Duck YouTube channel. I'm Max Torres. I am joined today by four-star 2021 tight end Moliki Matavao. We went over this before it started. I'm pronouncing it right, it
Yeah,
sounds like. So, Moliki, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us today.
I'm doing good. Just blessed. Seeing another day. Just living that same schedule. During this quarantine times, but I'm doing good.
Right on. Yeah, it has been weird. It feels like kind of all the days are meshing together on us now. So, on that note, what have you been up to these days? How are you staying busy?
What I found was been affecting me for the past couple of months doing this is just keeping the same routine. I wake up around the same time. I lift around 8 a.m. I wake up around 7:45. Lift at 8. Come home, do up some schoolwork, and then later in the day I do another workout, more field type stuff. Run routes or do some sprints or agilities. So
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're making the most of your time, which is really what's important, and just not staying stagnant, staying active and keeping on the grind.
yeah,
Well, cool, man. Right on. So let's look at what's your height and weight these days?
right at 6'6", 235 pounds.
6'6", 235. Okay, perfect. Perfect tight end size there. Gonna start off by focusing on Oregon, and then we'll talk about your recruitment a little bit more broadly, big picture.
Okay.
So on the topic of the Ducks, how often would you say you're hearing from Oregon?
Every day.
Every day. Okay,
Yeah.
and what are your conversations like? Who are you talking to there?
I'm really talking to a lot of coaching staff. I talk to Coach Cristobal probably the most. We really vary our conversations from just what he did today. He's always sending me pictures of his kids going on hikes around Oregon. I talked to Coach Moorehead a lot, talking about really he's more of my football guy. I talk to more about his stats and what he runs in his new offense. Coach Williams, we have a really good connection with Coach Williams. He's been to I think with 5 national championships. He's told me, and telling me he produces tight ends. OJ and uh, all the other big time tight ends he's produced. So he's just we built a really good relationship with that coaching staff.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know we talk about it with recruiting relationships, or oftentimes what it comes down to, that's who you're committing to. On the topic that you mentioned, Joe Moorhead, Ducks bring him in, relatively big name coach to run their offense. What's it mean to you to have someone like Moorhead at Oregon, and how he uses his tight ends in his offensive scheme?
When he was an offensive coordinator at Penn State, he was. So I had to do a lot of research about him, just to make sure, if I had to go to Oregon, I would be making right decision because they want to be a part of an offense making, an impact, But, I seen him at Penn State and what he did there with, Gesicki and transforming that offense over there at Penn State. And what he does with the tight end, they're not just, blocking or just attacking the flats, they're attacking vertically, attacking the seams, a deep threat, stretching the field. And that's what I love of his offense.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you get to do a little bit of everything, which I know is something that you pride your game on. You also mentioned Coach Bobby Williams. Oregon brings him over a couple seasons ago from Alabama. And what does it mean, since he'll be your tight end coach if you do choose to go to Oregon? What does it mean to be coached up by someone who has, like you mentioned, put guys like OJ Howard and other tight ends, at the highest level?
It shows that what he's teaching and what he does to develop his tight ends. It works. Blocking wise, passing wise, running routes wise. Almost everything on and off the field. And he preaches that his players. He does it, but you got to do the hard work to it. I'm a grinder. I love doing the work, the dirty work. So that's what he really's been telling me.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you could have a fit over there potentially. I know that recruits obviously haven't been able to take visits with campuses being shut down. I believe Oregon was the last visit you were able to take. Can you break that down for us just a little bit? Like, what would you do on your visit? What were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, it started really early in the day. I got to meet the whole coaching staff at the beginning. Kind of, they went through the entire facility, because I've never been up to Oregon, and kind of like the normal visit stuff. But then I got to break down practice with pretty much the coaches from the day before. I got to sit in the meetings, sit in the team meeting, and sit in the tight end meeting with Coach Williams and Coach Gilbertson. And I basically got to take in how he coaches and what he does, and then got to go to actual practice and learn basically when they practice. I took it to it's a high tempo practice. Coach Cristobal has brought that SEC mentality down. To the up to the Pac-12, and it showed how much it's been effective. They had a great last season. Watching that first spring ball practice was really good, and then just got to do a lot more campus tours after practice. You have to try the uniform on and all of that. And then at the end of the day, we got to go see the basketball game. So it was pretty fun.
Awesome. Sounds like an all-inclusive visit. Like you got to hit on just about everything. Since you have been to Eugene, you've obviously taken trips to other schools. What do you think was the main difference with Oregon, or what do you think set them apart from other schools that you might have seen?
Definitely how things are run there, because it's, being a college town, it was really cool seeing actually how stuff functions, how close people are. The town itself is really cool. It's what I really liked a lot, but also that mentality. I felt everyone there was more than just bought in. It was like a brotherhood, family environment, and a lot of schools have that, but it was a different feel there than others I felt before.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, Eugene's a special place. Glad you got to check it out. It's really cool. And then we talked a little bit about this the last time we spoke. You told me that you were hearing a little bit from Oregon quarterback commit Ty Thompson, and that you were saying, you're keeping an eye on where some of the other quarterbacks are going in the cycle. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with him and kind of what you guys have been talking about.
Yeah, I got to know him pretty well. He's a great dude. Enjoyed talking to him. One of the best quarterbacks in the nation, pro passer, and that's what's really key for my recruitment. Seeing a good pocket presence quarterback. But we've been really talking about how his style of game is, but also how he's gonna kind of be the next QB at Oregon, and he wants me to be, his tight end, his old and reliable target. And it's been, pretty cool just getting to know him and getting to meet him. So.
Right on. That's cool. That's cool. I'm sure you get to meet, all kinds of guys from all over the country, being a big time recruit. So that's definitely a cool part of the process. Want to go big picture now and focus on your recruitment as a whole. Recently, you named your top 6, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, Penn State, Georgia, and Tennessee. I think I got all those right. Let me know if I didn't.
Yep.
But if you could just break those down a little bit and let me know what's kind of standing out about each of those schools for you.
Start off with, Penn State. Penn State's been attacking me for a long time, heavily recruiting wise, but I built a great relationship with all those coaches, and that's the only place I haven't visited. But, I've done a lot with coaching staff on Zoom, FaceTimes, and just they're trying to do the best field they can, because, I never got to make it up there since the COVID virus. But they're a top school for me. The tight end, just history there is really big, but I've overall have great feel for that school, even though I haven't been visiting. UGA, Georgia, I visited there. I really love Coach Hartley. He's a great dude. He's a tight end coach. That field, kind of reminded me of Eugene a little bit, but Eugene still stood out a little bit. But that college town feel in Athens, it's pretty good there. They have bringing Coach Monken, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers former offensive coordinator, to be their new OC, and he heavily used OJ and Cameron Brate, so that really sparked my interest a lot into them. And just overall, playing in the SEC, one of the toughest conferences in college football. Playing against the best will make me better. Washington, they've been recruiting me. I think it was one of the first schools to ever start recruiting me. They've always had a good history of tight ends. I've visited there twice. I've seen a game and then visited campus before. But I have kind of fell off when Coach Peterson retired, and kind of picked back up later. But I got a really good relationship with Coach Cato. He's their new tight end coach. He's a pretty good dude. Overall, they're a pretty good school on my list. UCLA, I have been in contact with. I'm really high on that after football stuff. Football's going to end hopefully no time soon, but will come to an end. I still have the rest of my life to live, and UCLA has that great education. I plan to major in business. They have a great business program, and that stands out a lot to me. Also, putting in tight ends, 2 years in a row. Devin Asiasi was just drafted in the third round, second tight end taken. So that's pretty huge. And, just, living in LA, close to home, all that. So, and Tennessee, I visited there this past summer. Really enjoyed just the overall feel. That's, a whole different kind of place, I've been to, Knoxville, being, in the completely other side of the country. But I got a new feel for just how they run their stuff. Got to see their practice, and Coach Osovit, the new tight end coach. I got a really good relationship with him. But that's pretty much how my team stand.
Okay, right on. Well, it seems like you really have a good feel of where you're at, and I like how you're keeping post football life in mind. That's a pretty smart thing to do. And then what schools would you say you're hearing from the most these days? I imagine probably some of those top schools.
Yeah, definitely Oregon, Penn State, Georgia, and UCLA before I hear from the most.
Okay. And I know you mentioned that you hadn't been able to make it out to Penn State. Do you have any kind of idea what visits you're hoping to take once campuses do reopen?
I mean, I'm going to plan on just taking my one official visit to the school I'm committed to, since I'll be committed May 27th. So that would be the one visit I'd take. I'm going to stick to my word unless something drastic happens to wherever I'm going to go. But I'm pretty much, once I go with my word, I don't need to see anywhere else. I'm just going to, if it feels right, it feels right. I don't need to go explore other options.
Okay, awesome. That's great to hear. Just on that note, do you have any intentions or plans to graduate or enroll early at this time?
Yeah, I'll be enrolling early. Already started my summer school classes, so I'll be enrolling early in December. I'll be graduating. So
very cool. Yeah, the grind doesn't stop. I'll be starting summer classes pretty soon too, so I feel you on that one. Moving right along here, don't want to keep it for too long. What kind of a head coach would you say that you're hoping to play for, like your ideal head coach?
A family first coach, who loves his players, but, is taking in everything on and off the field football wise, and just, has a strong, eager desire to, win and become better. That's really what's huge for me. I want to take the program to the next level. I want a coach to develop me, but also, I want a team coach, put his players first, and just an overall, just a guy that, I can connect with and, see in the future, and, go take a national championship with.
Right on. Well, you certainly have some great choices in front of you, so that's great to hear. I'm sure one of those coaches will fit that criteria. Kind of a question that I just want to get to know you a little bit better and get a handle on kind of the national football scene. Nevada has been starting to put out some real players in the recent years. We saw Darnell Washington. He's a tight end heading to Georgia. Jackson LeDuc out of Nevada is heading to Oregon, and Micah Bones to Penn State. What's the football scene like in Nevada, maybe compared to other states?
I really, feel like our state's getting slept on a little bit, but, I'm glad, all of our guys, showing that, Nevada can play ball. Our view is hard. A lot of guys I think are going unseen, which is, sad, but, this is a state, you can come here and ball, you're playing against good competition every week. There's not really one terrible school or anything. It's just, everyone has their players, and football here, it's fun. It's something different than, California ball is, another thing. Texas ball is another monster. Florida ball, but Nevada's another thing too. So for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, getting to learn a little bit more about Nevada. That's awesome. Sounds like they got some great players coming out in the coming years, including yourself. I noticed that your Twitter profile said dual sport athlete. What other sport do you play, and how has that kind of been nowadays?
Yeah, I play basketball as well. Basketball was was my first sport I've ever played. Football just took off, and I love football, but I've always had a passion for basketball. I was our starting power forward, and I just I love playing basketball. Dunking on dudes, and just everything in basketball helped me play football, and everything in football helped me play basketball. So it kind of piggybacked off each other. and that's why I love playing basketball.
Super cool. Yeah, I feel like sometimes football players get a bad rep when it comes to basketball or like another sport because maybe it requires a different type of coordination and like they think that it'll just be like bully ball. But that's awesome. I'm a big hoops fan myself. Just wrapped up at Gonzaga, so that's a big basketball school.
Yeah, one of
Last
our
question. I'm sorry, my bad. Go for it.
one of my teammates signed to Gonzaga, so he's gonna be going to Gonzaga.
Oh, really? Who?
Yeah, Julian Strother.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's a Vegas guy. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Okay. Do you guys go to the same school? Oh, yeah, you went.
Yeah, same school. Yeah, we're super close. We be playing Madden together. He's a big football dude too, but just, he's a good dude.
That's super cool. I never.
Yeah.
I totally forgot what school he went to. So that's on me. Just a little brain fart. Well, last question for you here. I know so your commitment's just a little bit over a week away. Process will pretty much be shut down, it sounds like. With that in mind, what's the process been like for you, and maybe what advice would you give to someone else who's about to go through it or is going through it?
Definitely, I don't think this will. I mean, if an outbreak like this happens again, it definitely changed everything. But I really have enjoyed it. It's I'm truly blessed to be in this situation. It's super stressful, super time consuming, but I wouldn't want to be in either position. I thank for my everything that's been happening to me, through hard work. And if I had to, give any advice, just, live it up, stay blessed, and, take your time. It's your process, no one else's. And just keep on doing you, be a high schooler. So that's, some big things, I've been trying to do in this process.
Awesome. It seems like, it's a very mature way to look at it. It only comes around once. So I think that any recruit would be wise to take that into mind. Well, Moliki, that's all I had for you, man. Great talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and best of luck with your decision.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. You too.
Thanks.